I'm ChangeDaChannel, and I wanted to talk about the shooting at the movie screening of The Dark Knight Rises in Colorado, where 71 people were shot, leaving 12 dead. Now, first off, I want to send out my condolences to the victims and the victims' family. This was a tragic event that makes no sense at all. Now, this morning, I was reading the comment threads on different websites reporting on the story, and it was chock full of anti-gun advocates declaring that this was proof that we needed to ban guns. Now, while I was going through the different sites and I was reading these, I happened to notice a video in the video section that was listed on the right side of the web page that was from a security camera in Florida at an internet cafe. The video showed two robbers, one carrying a pistol and the other carrying a baseball bat, who comes through the door bashing a computer while the gunman waves his gun around at the people. Now, there's this old timer in there who was present, quickly drew his pistol, it was like a 25 or 32 or something, and fired, wounding the gunman, forcing both robbers to bolt out the door. The old timer locked the door behind them and waited for the police to arrive. Now, the whole occurrence happened within roughly 10 seconds. Now, after watching that, I couldn't help but feel that it was a shame that there was no one like that present at the movie theater. Now, I believe at times like these, we need to keep a level head on our shoulders. We need to keep it real. Now, one, you're not going to get rid of guns, people. It's not going to happen. Period. They're here to stay. Now, the bad guys are going to always get them no matter what. The only thing that would happen from banning of guns is making law-abiding citizens defenseless against criminals and whack jobs that are going to have them anyway. Statistics prove that concealed weapon permit holders are 13 times less likely to commit any crimes than people who don't carry. Now, not alone shoot them up in the streets and all of this fantasy stuff people like to push, then just because a very few people, and I mean a very few people, do these types of heinous acts doesn't change the fact that 99.9% of registered gun owners would never do such a thing. I mean, it's like calling all Muslims terrorists, or Republicans or fascists, and all Democrats hippies, or banning alcohol or cars because of the thousands of deaths a year from drunk driving. I mean, not everyone is extreme, people. I mean, there are bad, irresponsible people, and there are good, responsible folks out there in every facet of life. Now, personally, and I can't get my head around it, and some of you would disagree, but I believe that if someone was carrying a gun besides the killer in that theater, it would have saved lives. Period. Now, with that said, here's some things that just don't make sense to me, some questions I have. Now, by the story so far, you got a gifted grad student, who studied neuroscience at the University of California, Riverside, where he graduated in 2010. He was a grad student at the University School of Medicine in Denver until last month, when he just suddenly dropped out for no reason. He kicks in, kicks down, or opens up the fire door he had previously left open, depending on which news site you're looking at, wearing a bulletproof vest, gas mask on with an AK-47 shotgun and a .40 caliber, tosses a couple of tear gas canisters and just starts unloading on people. Now, after shooting 71 people, he exits. Now, he is armored down, and he just gets arrested with no resistance, okay? Now, the police say he is not cooperating with authorities, but happens to have told him that he booby-trapped his apartment with incendiary and chemical devices. And they still, at this very moment, have not been able to get into his apartment, which they say is laced with sophisticated tripwires. Okay, now here's some questions I have, and some things don't make any sense. Now, those doors only open one way as far as I know, and that's outwards. Now, I could be mistaken. I could be totally wrong, but that's the only way that the doors are open in all the movie theaters that I've been in, and it's like that so people can't sneak in. And is should be, from what I've seen, checked at the end of each viewing to make sure the door's closed so people don't sneak in. That's, mainly it was for people going out and stuff like that. It was going to try to get past, all the traffic and all the crowd and all of this kind of stuff. So, I mean, really, perhaps these are different doors. I mean, I don't really know, but I was just, something that, just sparked in my head that I was wondering about. But he goes on to shoot 71 people. Some of these were children. I mean, there were children in there. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. I mean, he's loaded down. He goes in there and kills 71. I mean, he shoots 71 people and kills, a bunch of them, some children, and he just calmly gives himself up to police. And another thing, the police didn't blast him. I mean, this has got to be a first. I mean, perhaps. But then they say he isn't cooperating, but yet he warns them that he has wired up his apartment, which shows some kind of level of concern, don't you think, about killing them? I mean, and which that doesn't make any sense to me anyway. Why would he wire up his apartment to kill people? He didn't have a problem killing those children and those other people, but has a problem killing police, so he warns them, even though he's not cooperating. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't even add up for a psychopath, I mean, there is something more to this story. Anyhow, I just want to drop this video, and I also want to hear, what you guys got to say about any information that you picked up, or your opinions or theories or anything, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyhow, I'm ChangeDaChannel, and I'm out.